Hi, this is the Donna Thorne special, and I'm Norma Jean Barrows, your host for today. And today we have the Positive Role Model Show for you, and we have some great guests today, people right in our own community that are great artists. And today we have, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Jessie Wilson.
And here we have
Jerry Wilson.
Joy Wilson.
Okay, and so I'd like to begin with you, Jessie, being this is their mother. I'm telling you, these children are great artists, and you're the mother. How does that feel of you created by God, two great artists?
You said it, created by God. I'm humble because I have another son who's also an artist that works for Disney, and one who's a writer. So I'm just grateful to God, I really am.
What is it like as far as, I read, Terry, in your bio, you started at the age of 5, well 2, at the age of 2, but at 5 is where your mom, I guess, seen that you were such an outstanding artist. And what is it like when you seen his gift and his artwork being 5 years old, that he was just outstanding? How did you know?
The movement in his work, in his drawings. He had movements from the time he was saying hit, from the way he could draw the club. So this guy's an artist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said he's an artist.
Wow. So Terry, I seen also in your bio that you have an award from the NAACP. And what type of award was that?
It was for helping one of their programs for up-and-coming artists in the community. I was one of the judges, and I participated in that last year at Grover Cleveland High School.
Was that like a talent show or something?
Yes, it was part talent show and part exhibition.
Oh, okay.
Multimedia.
So how was that, judging other people to where being fair, and I bet there was a lot of great artists as yourself?
Yes, yes there was, and there was certainly, I think, more advanced than I was at that age. There's just so much has come along. It was a bit scary for me because I'm usually not in that position.
Oh, right. So Joy, so I know you're a great artist also. What is that like, sharing the stage with your brother? Did you learn from each other, working with one another at home, being young artists?
Basically, my gift is a God-given gift, and it's also stemmed from my father and from my mother. And basically, it's something that I had developed since I was 3 years old, and I just keep working with the gift that I have until it simply blossomed.
Oh wow, that's great. So, who would you say that who inspired you, Joy, to become such a creative artist?
I really have to get the credit to God, but I think my mom and my father both inspired me. My dad is also an artist, and I think I got the gift from him, and also from maybe also from my mom as well. But it's basically a God-given gift that I nurtured.
Oh, okay. So before we go to a break, I'd like to, Terry, you have one of your paintings. Would you like to say one of your paintings that you've painted? You can bring it up.
One of the ones that I did, it was a little while ago at Mission College. It was called Harvesting the Neighborhood.
Oh, Harvesting the Neighborhood.
Where we went around parts of the valley and took pictures, and then we would take the photographs and we would rework them and paint. So I took a picture of a fabric shop in Reseda, then I scanned it into Photoshop, altered the photo digitally, and painted the picture.
Wow. Beautiful. Oh, I can't wait to see that painting. So, Joy, would you like to talk to us about this one painting right here? This is called the Black Madonna?
Black Madonna and Child.
Oh, okay. And this is Mother and Child?
Yes.
How were you inspired to paint something so beautiful and detailed?
This particular painting was taken from a black and white photograph. It basically was a Somalian woman from Africa. I did this painting because I was very moved by it, which is one of the reasons I do my paintings. It has to be something that inspires and that moves me. And it was kind of during the time of starvation, and I became so involved with the emotion of the subject matter that I decided to do the painting. And it was given by my teacher, Dorothy Ghosh, and I was touched by the love between the mother and the child. And I decided to pursue that as a part of my painting. And down below, which is a little trademark. It has two hands going up.
Right here.
Yes. That represents the lifting up of the people.
And
that can be seen in my later paintings as my trademark.
Oh, I love that! Like your own little signature. When you see that, you know that's joy.
That was developed by me and the late teacher Alex von Lumsum. We both worked on a trademark for me as part of a second signature.
How long does it take you to paint something like this?
Generally, for anywhere for a couple of months to about a year.
Okay.
Primarily because of the detailed work and the color, and also working out the trying to project as much emotion into the subject matter as possible, because I want the people to be able to feel what's going on in the painting.
Definitely. So we're going to go to a break. When we come back, I want to see one of your paintings, Terry, and definitely talk some more with you, Joy, and the mother of the great artist, and yourself. So we'll be back. Stay tuned. Thank you.
We have beautiful trees in our town.
Along Main Street.
Around our town square.
In our neighborhoods.
In our town, we care for trees.
We prune our trees.
Plan for them, plant them, and cherish them.
Our town really benefits from trees.
We save on energy.
And have more birds than ever.
We're proud that our town is a Tree City, USA.
For future generations.
For the future of the earth. We started at the Arbor Day Foundation website.
And contacted our state forester.
At arborday.org, we learned what trees to plant where.
Like conservation buffers, trees planted along the river to keep our water clean.
Hey, make your town a Tree City, USA.
Trees for America, from sea to shore.
Our town, Tree City, USA.
Hi. Back again. Thank you. We're back again at the Donna Thorne special, and here we have the Positive Role Model Show today. And of course, I'm your host, Norma Jean Barrows. And we're talking with, if you weren't here in the beginning, here we have
Jessie Wilson,
Terry Wilson, and Joy Wilson. And we're talking about their great artistic abilities, just great artists right in our own community. And I'd like to talk with you about just being an artist, but also you're a teacher, right? Is that right, Jessie?
That's true.
And we're teaching children, or?
Oh, I teach children and adults.
Oh, art?
No.
Or, okay, like English, math,
Yes.
and general education. Great.
Right.
So while you're teaching, as you, I'm sure, taught your own children, do you like catch it? Do you have that eye to catch a child at their creative ability while they're young?
I sure do.
Wow.
And usually I tell the parents.
Oh, it's not. See, that's what I love. You tell the parents
yes,
what to look for and how to cultivate that at home,
right.
And keep that going so then they can be really productive.
Yeah, and have patience, because some people don't think that art is too much of anything, and they just don't look at their drawings and really kind of get into it, because they tell you what your child is thinking, you know?
Oh, right. I love that. So you know it's going on in their mind without them even expressing. It's like you express yourself.
It can come through your art.
Oh, I like that. The flip side of psychology, right? You can see it. Okay, Terry, you have a couple of paintings that they should bring up to show us. And what was that again? You said you took a picture of
Yeah, it's from a
something.
series done at school called Harvesting the Neighborhood.
Okay, Harvesting the Neighborhood, and that's one of. What's another one also that they may bring up through the segment?
Well, one was called The Dark Side of the Sun.
Oh, is that the one that was in the beginning with that
Yes.
beautiful music? And I just want to say thank you, Laverne, Antoine, for that beautiful violin music behind the picture. It was great. And Joy, you have another painting right here.
Yes.
And this one is?
This one is called Love.
Love, okay. And how did you express love? I mean, we could see it already. I mean, the mom and the child, they're just hugging and expressing themselves.
This was also done from a black and white photograph. Basically, the subject matter that was taken from is the dancer, and she's taken a break from her dancing and given her son a hug. And again, I was very moved by the emotion between the mother and the son that I decided to pursue and to paint that painting. The trademark that's on the left-hand side is also my trademark. And I used a lot of bold colors as well as attention to detail, which is also what I'm very known for. And the painting is also three-dimensional in the fact that I painted the sides, so that the design and the color continues on to the sides and to the bottom. So it could be either framed or unframed.
So later we're going to go into Roland about, it was an event, was it a school event or something to where it's an art show? That later we're going to definitely watch some of Joy's paintings. Just a few of the paintings we have here, we're going to see them out of one of her shows. And where was this show in the community?
Yes, it was at Maxfield's hair salon in Studio City.
And what did they just happened to get an art show for you to show your? Oh, that was great!
Yes,
wow.
One of the artists that I belong to is the Artist Co-op 7. They introduced my portfolio to one of the venues, and the venue saw my artwork and was very impressed by it, and was hoping that maybe I could possibly exhibit at their hair salon one day.
Oh, that's great. So we're going to go into that, Roland. You know, and it's just so great to hear how a lot of people right in our own community can get involved and actually pull artists into their own business, whether it be the neighborhood neighbors salon, hair salon, bookstore. It's so many ways we can all participate into the goals of another person in the community to make everyone's dream happen. So we'll be right back, so please stay tuned.
I'm Jessie Wilson, and we're here at Maxfield in Studio City for a showing of Joy's works. The show, entitled Shades of Africa, is her older works and also some of her newer works. Right here we are looking at Spring. Spring was one of her first works because the color was very, very bold and very, very plain and matte, not a lot of shadows. Also, you will notice her signature over here in an ethnic border that became like a second signature. She developed that when she was at Everyone's Village with Dr. Alex Dillon. This is Three Sisters, another one of Joy's earlier works. It was inspired by some African women with baskets on their heads, and she elaborated on it and made it her own. This is Lady Balancing a Hat. This was also taken from a photograph of an African woman with a basket on her head, and Joy took the basket and made it into a hat. And it has the same technique of bold colors, varied with the matte finish. Okay, this is love. As you can see, Joy's painting went in another direction. And that the colors are more blended, more shadows, and more muted. This is the favorite painting of all her works. People like love. It's a great one. Yeah. So Joy Germaine Wilson was moving into another level. This is Black Madonna and Child. Joy does a lot of paintings with mothers and children. She loves that subject matter. She hopes to illustrate children's books. So love and Black Madonna and Child kind of go hand in hand.
And so, yeah, Carol wasn't feeling good, so.
Okay, this is Flamenco Dancer, and it's Waves of Color.
Hi, we're back with the Donna Thorne special, and I'm your co-host, Norma Jean Barrows, and here we have the Positive Role Model show today. And of course, we've been talking with Joy and Terry and Jessie Wilson, a mother and son and daughter, and of course, she has other great children that are writers and artists also. What is it like raising, you said 5 children, and what could you say maybe to parents out there to to inspire them to not give up and hang in there and encourage them, like you said before, be patient?
Yeah, I had a very strong spiritual basis, and I still have that. And also, I was a single mother, and still am, for like 30-some years. And my thing was, I wanted to spend time with my children. I paid my dues on welfare. I stood in the lines, had food stamps, went through all of that. But I wanted to be there for them. I didn't want my mother to do it. I didn't want their paternal grandmother to do it. And she had a ranch in Victorville. But I paid my time with my children. And I will say that Head Start was a blessing for me, because when my young son went to Head Start, I did my classes at Cal State Northridge to get my bachelor's degree. And I would go when he was in Head Start, and then leave Northridge and come back and pick him up, So, but I recognized that they had talent. And at the time that we came on, this is in the late 60s, and we were living in Reseda. You can imagine what that territory is like then. There was no hardly blacks there except us. So we did a lot of things at our home, with our piano, with our music, and with our art, because I wanted them to have a cultural experience, a religious experience, and also academic, because I knew what they were going to be facing.
That is great. It just shows you no matter what obstacle, no matter what, with God's help, you can do anything that you put your mind to, especially mothers and fathers that want to be there for their children, because it's so important. What do we work for? What do we do for our children? And that's our priority. If you have some, or if you don't, to be in the lives of other children, to be role models. And that I wanted to go right to you, because you did an outstanding job. You were bringing out your daughter Joy's artwork, and that was just great, for a mother to participate and be so involved in their child's life like that. And Joy, we've seen your paintings, and that was really nice. And here we have another one right here. What's this one?
This one is called Serenity. It's 48 by 32. It's also an oil. This one took me about a year to complete. It was recently at the University of Judaism about a week ago. And this border that you see right here is also my trademark. And this is probably one of my favorite paintings of all time, because of the expression of feeling peaceful and serene. I've had a lot of people comment of how beautiful she looked and how powerful she is in her presence. And I'm trying to keep this painting in my collection only because it's the largest painting I ever did. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of myself.
Oh, I like that. That's nice. The innocent strength and yet purity, that presence. That's beautiful. You can almost feel the vibes of what you're saying and looking at the art. Wow. Terry, did you both work together at all on art or give each other ideas within the home about artists, you know, or different things? Did you guys work together?
No, not really. Sometimes,
okay.
sometimes I might have suggested something on the technical end, but all her ideas are her ideas.
But that's nice, though, that, like you said, on a technical end, that you look out for each other on your art to encourage one another. So siblings, you want to encourage each other and have that good bond, that relationship that I can tell that you both have. It seems like that's really important, that I'm sure your mom, she really cultivated that, because it takes the parent to really get that as a young child for siblings to stay in unity. Especially, you know, when you don't compete because you have your own style. Totally, you know, it looks African-American art, but yet yours, I see, one of your paintings there, it was kind of, seems like, I don't know if I would say Paris, or it was just, seems like it was more, it was like cultural, kind of in the city. It was a picture of, it seems like clothing, like in the city, and a lady or something.
Is that the neighborhood one?
Yeah, the neighborhood one. I'm like describing it because I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's nice. And so you get kind of pictures, and you kind of get ideas. Do people give you pictures, or are they from magazines?
Oh no, I went out and took the snapshot.
Oh, oh wow, I love that. So you just get right in the scene. You know what it felt like. So then you can take that home and really know what that scene was about.
Well, painting is something that's more new to me than it is to Jo. She's more, let's say, accomplished at it. I'm still taking lessons.
Now, what is it like to go home and just, how do you get totally into it? You know, how would a person say, well, how do they get started? Because someone might be an aspiring artist, and like, well, how do they get started? They could feel overwhelmed. Like, how do they start doodling on the paper, or what do they do if they didn't start at 5 years old like yourself?
Gosh, you find something that really interests you and really speaks to you in a way that maybe speaks to no one else. The arts that inspired me were more commercial arts than fine arts, illustrators, cartoons, that sort of thing. That just spoke to me more than, say, a Picasso, which I did see, but I couldn't understand Picasso.
Oh, okay.
But I could understand Remington with cowboys, or I could understand Captain America and Spider-Man. That I could understand.
Oh, yeah, I seen your bio, and you had a lot of comic things and cartoonish things.
Or dinosaurs, things like that.
Oh, okay, that's nice, because that captures the eye of the children to be inspired in such a positive way, instead of, you know, taking it to a positive area where children are going to want to watch it. We definitely have to catch their eye and steer it in a positive form.
As my mom said, God is really the impetus for it. I mean, I see how she has endured so much, could have gone in another direction. And in our own family, we were farmers until about the time I came along.
Oh.
And I have to remember, our relatives had so much to go through, but they always kept their dignity. They always kept God in the forefront.
Wow.
So I figured if God has given me this gift, then I shouldn't abuse it.
Wow.
So.
Definitely. That's such a blessing to hear, and I hope everyone's encouraged out there to understand where your gift comes from and always be humbled. You can just see the beautiful humbleness in this family, that we can all encourage ourselves to